We are live Wednesday night.
It's the original bad boys of Watercraft.
Hey,
What
Reggie,
what
you ever made?
do?
Oh, no.
What you gonna do when they come
We got to keep
for
this
you?
PG, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Man,
I'm
you
sorry.
look like you're 30. It's the original bad boys of Watercraft Network shows.
Oh, no. You know, I'm really starting to like the scene from Den of Thieves better.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one.
That was just flat out
No,
classic.
that was absolutely fantastic.
Have it back at 11:30, right?
That was. I like the
11:30.
I like the guy who speaks Spanish to him, and then the other guy pulls him aside and goes, "He just wants you to know that he'd like you to have a lovely evening." That was absolutely fantastic.
Classic. You can tell we have daughters.
Exactly. Yeah. So the original bad boys are back. I'm Kev. This is Jody. We got well, actually, I'm Puffy. This is Biggie. We got DJ Clue, aka Bishop, the super producer over here, and intern. We'll call him Fabulous. One of DJ Clue's,
Or we call him Bishop too.
or Bishop Junior, whatever
Yeah.
we want to call him. But I think we'll go with Fab for now because we're the original bad boys. Here in studio live on a Wednesday, getting ready to have a little fun, talk about some Watercraft stuff, some interesting stuff. You know, stuff that always seems to be a topic
Working on skis.
on the forums. Yeah, exactly. But before we do that, let us, give a little bit of love, little shout outs going out. A lot of love going out to Pro Watercross. I don't know if you guys saw that, they have that new sponsor, that GPS sponsor. I apologize. I didn't remember the name.
Finn.
Finn. Thank you, Finn.
Yep.
That's why it's a collaborative thing here. I mean,
Give and take.
exactly. But shout out to Pro Watercross. Just killing it with sponsorship. Liquid Molly, obviously. World class oil and lubricants company sponsoring
Some new
Pro
rules too.
Yeah, saw
Gonna
there.
make, looks like it's gonna be a little bit tighter, technical,
And you know what?
course wise.
I
I
love
like tighter.
I love
PG.
what they did in terms of the Joker buoy. I always,
Yep.
Joker buoys are the best thing. And for those of you that don't know what we're talking about,
Is that where Reese is gonna fall off and then we laugh?
well, what a Joker buoy is it's
What is
sometimes
banana hammock?
it's sometimes referred to as an equalizer buoy, and you guys, super producer Bishop will recognize this from Supercross. In Supercross, they have a Joker lane, where once throughout the course of a moto, you have to go through that lane. And what Pro Watercross is doing is they're bringing back the Joker buoy, and so anytime from the second lap
To the end of the race.
until before you get the checker flag, you have to go out, and typically the Joker buoy is off the course. It's an equalizer. It really makes it more of a a thinking situation where
Strategy.
you have to be calculated. You really have to pick and choose when you're going to take that Joker buoy or that equalizer, and it's really a cool thing. I think what they're doing, is just really, listening to their
Their customers.
base.
Because in reality, all of the racers are their customers.
And I think racers want, to a degree, parity. Everybody wants to win, but everybody wants, to feel as though the race is even instead of somebody getting out front and playing follow the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they want to. The good thing is that somebody's actually listening to them.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
How many places do you go where people just don't listen to your customers?
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I mean, you can see that with a lot of other entities involved within this industry and community where, the customers just aren't as, they
Paid
just not
attention
listened
to?
to. Yeah, they're just not paying attention to. So, kudos to Pro Watercross. They got that first event coming up in Sebring. That should be just a great thing. And I also noticed that King's Cup, legendary King's Cup, over there in Thailand, is following suit of Pro Watercross, and they're now looking to include stand-up paddleboarding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so all those naysayers out there who
I
said,
still can't do it. Stand up. I got no coordination for that.
yeah,
Well, you need more balance and coordination.
I don't got any of that.
well, well, you do have the arm strength.
Yeah, I work out.
Hamstring.
But to all the naysayers out there who said, "Hey, that's a horrible business model, marrying
Hey,
flyboarding and stand-up paddleboarding with personal watercraft competition events. Now one of the biggest players globally in terms of organized PWC competition events is now looking to host stand-up paddleboarding. So I
Why
guess
not?
I mean
I
that's
mean,
what
once you set a course, you set a course. I mean, granted, you're not paddleboarding a jet ski course, but you're still using the same buoys.
and I think anything that will bring attention to personal watercraft competition events is a good thing. I
Mhm.
mean, if you can add a music festival or anything to help enhance, like we were talking about at SCX 2021 over in
boy, I
Australia
wish.
with
With the
Matty.
BMX,
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking at freestyle motocross. They got BMX, they got a skateboard
skateboard, yep.
park. That's really where this industry needs to go in order to attract those Monster Energy Supercross type of sponsors or Red Bull Straight Rhythm.
Yep.
I mean, you have all of these other sanctioning bodies not thinking outside of the box, and I think it was a fantastic business model by Pro Watercross, and obviously seeing one of the largest, most prestigious competition events.
Following suit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so shout out to Pro Watercross for all the hard work they're putting in, and CBS Sports for doing an amazing job of covering them. And so anyway, as we continue to go through our attaboys, I think we got to give some love to our friends over at Liquid Molly. Liquid Molly, again, Formula One, GP Superbike competition.
What aren't they into?
Yeah, I mean, just
Pretty much now, it's what aren't they into?
just the best of the best, and really just a
Mountain
fantastic.
biking.
I don't know. You could probably use some of their spray lubes.
Probably.
Nice try.
But if you haven't found Liquid Molly products yet, you see a lot of see Broward Motorsports now, one of the major power players within the community.
Tech one out in Havasu.
Yeah,
Yep.
Tech One Racing. A lot of these people jumping on board, seeing lower operating temperatures. Seeing just
Oh,
much,
better performance, more
much.
lube.
Less wear. I mean, I think it was Tech One, wasn't it? It
I
was
do-
doing about the supercharger.
Yeah, it was Tech One
Yeah.
Racing.
All that.
So nice to see Liquid Molly. To see, the
They're killing it.
Yeah, and it's nice to see entities within the community, recognizing the value of a quality product like a Liquid Molly and their involvement with the sport. And just an amazing, amazing line of lubricants.
Well, you know what the best part of it is? I don't even think it's just the oil. It's the fact that Gary's at every race.
He's an
or
approachable
every
guy.
event-
They're invested. You're right,
Um,
Mel. They're invested.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
100%. I mean, when you have somebody like that who stands behind their products to that degree, their products perform. I mean, like Mel said, Gary was out at the Han. He was down at Daytona Free Ride.
He's
You know-
any event, he's there.
They're
But he's not too important to where he won't pick up the phone.
great, most
Mhm.
approachable
So,
guy.
I'm all right with that.
One of the most approachable guys in this community.
You want to call him now?
Yeah, right.
We could probably call him
He-
now, and
he
he'll
would-
answer.
He would pick
Probably.
up. He's a great guy. Liquid Molly products. You can find them. If you're having a hard time finding them, just go right on Liquid Molly's site. You find them on social media. Great line of products. Just absolutely incredible. Also,
We got one big shout out that we have to do.
who's that?
The lady upstairs.
Did she make some chili? All right.
No,
I'll
no,
be-
no,
hang
no,
on.
no, no,
All
no,
right.
no, no,
All
no,
right.
no, no, no. Get back here. Get back
Time
here.
out.
I was ready to go.
After this
Unfortunately,
commercial,
well, you guys in their damn chili. No, she did make lasagna. Oh my God,
wasn't invited.
that's beside the point. See,
Killing me,
he
Smalls.
says
You're
it's-
killing me.
It's on point. It's on
Friction
point.
Mike.
So,
Killing me,
there you
Smalls.
go.
We couldn't do Jet Fest last year. The last 2 years, we've donated to the Center for Disability Services. Obviously, couldn't donate last year. My wife, in her infinite wisdom, decided to do that little painting not paint contest, but a little painting project
I thought
with
it was cool.
our daughter, and all the money is going towards the Center for Disability Services,
It's awesome.
so they can do our project. And quite a few in the jet ski community, because my wife tagged me, have stepped up. I want to not only thank her, but thank everybody that has put in.
Oh, yeah.
If you could only understand the amount of work that it is for Taylor to do that, you'll appreciate those paintings even more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
think
got to
so.
remember it isn't like a regular person that can sit for hours and hours and try to put some
right.
paint
It's
on a piece
it,
of paper.
And she can only do it for so long.
Right.
Or it's
due to Taylor's mobility issues, it's very hard for her to do stuff like that. And I
Boy,
think,
but I'll tell you what, that girl knows when there's some racing going on.
oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
she even likes it, when they're to be in something fast. I mean, when you get like in the boat, she just has such a good time. But I have to
Oh,
give your
God.
wife credit too, because until you told
She's
me,
married to you.
I didn't. Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. Good point. But I did not recognize the sweet and low.
the little logo on her
I just
painting.
didn't even. I didn't even recognize. I got a great painting from Taylor, which seriously, in all seriousness, I brought it home and I put it on the table, and nice card from T. And my wife looks at it, and like it was gone. Like a couple hours later, I'm like, "Hey, where'd that painting go? I was going to hang it in the garage." And she's like, "I put it in the spare bedroom. It matches perfect." And I was like, "Okay, all right." So
Well,
out of-
she's asking me. She goes, "What color should I do, Kevin?"
that's so funny.
So I'm like, and I came up with the whole sweet and low
I,
idea. And I'm
until
like,
you said it,
there you
I
go.
didn't even
But-
I didn't
Well,
get the
yeah,
connection.
And
Well,
just
but-
for the amount in these 2 weeks,
Yeah.
right? She's been doing it.
Yeah.
It's been $500.
Wow, that's awesome,
Just so you know,
man.
and
I didn't realize that. That's really
I'm telling
amazing.
you, it's a lot of work for that little girl. She enjoys it, but it's only a few hours. So if you've ordered one, it's coming every day after school. She comes in, does
That's
a few,
awesome.
does a few on the weekends.
I see.
Well, I went to T's graduation.
Mhm.
And then we met with the Center of Disability. We've done so much with them.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how they do their job day to day because their level of care is like
Staggering.
next level shit.
It's I equate that to like, how does a person work in like a NICU unit with like
Oh, I couldn't do it
small
myself.
baby, you know what I mean, babies who are just born pre. It's a special person who works in a place like that, the Center for Disability Services, because they have such a connection. It's not like they're doing it for a job. They're looking at their watch going, up, time to clock out. I mean, they have such a passion for what they do, and it's really nice to be able to support them. And I immediately saw, Rodney, Scott,
Yep.
Carolina Watercraft Club, a bunch of people jumping on and saying, hey, I'll take, a painting. And it's just such a nice thing to do, because you don't realize how much $500 goes such a long way for a place
it's going
like
to be
that.
huge to buy just supplies so that, and she's in an adult program, so the supplies they can actually do something and
Right.
do something productive
Right.
that they can take home.
Yeah.
It means a lot. And with COVID,
Yeah, it's
obviously
even harder.
a
Yeah.
lot of the fundraising didn't happen.
Yeah, it's been tough
So
for them, really tough for them. And speaking of community fundraising, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the Carolina Watercraft Club.
Mm-hmm.
Saw an amazing post from them. Those of you who may not remember, the first belly buster that they did 2 years ago would have been 2019. They did for a young girl who had pediatric leukemia. I'll tell you, it literally almost brought tears to my eyes this week when I saw that the young girl, Vivian, had gone through her last
Chemo?
last treatment, and it's such a wonderful thing, because Scott, Rodney, Carolina Watercraft Club, in conjunction with the other groups that they worked with down there, I know Adam Buckler, the Carolina ski riders, a bunch of people got involved, and that little girl now went through her last treatment. I mean, it's such a wonderful thing, when the community comes together with all the negativity and the drama and all the, this guy hates that guy and this bullshit. And that, I mean, it's so nice to see people come together. I mean, here's a young girl who, they bought her Christmas present. She loved Disney stuff. They raised money so her mom and dad were able to do things, as they were working, and she was going through all these treatments. Just an amazing, amazing thing the community did there. And you had a lot of people step up at that first belly buster. Sam Nemi and the Broward guys. I remember them talking about, Billy Dearman, a whole host of people, who were there to compete, took their time and money out of their pockets to help out a little girl with pediatric leukemia. And that's just amazing. It's just
Well,
equivalent to
they
what's
did the Walker last year,
yeah, and they did yeah, but I mean it's
and they raised so much money that they had extras to give and disperse in other
to
places.
other
And I
deserving
mean, they had
charities. Yeah,
one focus,
yeah,
and they blew it out of the water.
it's amazing. It's just so nice how I just think that seeing that post from Scott and Rodney is like parallels what you're doing to a smaller degree with
Hmm.
Taylor and the painting. And you have community members to step up and want to give back, and that's really what it's all about. Those are us who are fortunate and have a degree of stability in our lives are able to just give a little bit, and it goes a long way. It really does, and it's really a nice thing to see. So again, thank you to everybody for helping Jody's daughter out. The paintings are really really cool. She really enjoys doing them, and it's just a nice thing. So again, we got to get onto our topic about hydroturf because we're talking about turf and not necessarily hydroturf, but we just want to give quick shout out and love to Watercraft Superstore, WSM Performance Products. Obviously, our friends at Bomber. Got to rock the Bombers, or you're going to be swimming for your shades.
Shelby had fun with that this weekend.
Saw that.
No, you're gonna be
I saw she
diving.
was rocking the
You'll be diving. for your
new. What are
shades.
those new ones called again?
Buzz bombs.
The Buzz Bombs. Yep, those things are pretty awesome. Or even the regular bombers. They all float, so you're not going to be swimming to the depths of your local watering hole to try and retrieve your sunglasses.
They actually come with the safety shields on them.
Yeah,
Um,
pop
obviously,
those
Shelby's
right
I
off.
took off because she obviously is not going to use them for grinding,
much.
welding, anything
Yeah,
like
she's
that.
not going to be out there doing target practice.
No. Well, you never know.
Well,
Another
that's a
couple
good
of years
point.
she can.
It's a good
It
point.
is Kentucky.
Texas, she did.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right. So, we wanted to start talking about some topics that we get a lot of questions on. You may see a lot of people see our lives on Sunday. It facilitates some questions. Thanks there, Bishop Jr. And we want, one that we get quite a bit is about turfing. And, there's, well, how would you say, there's a million different ways to skin a cat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people have their own little processes and techniques, and
Putting it on, taking it off.
but let's talk about specifically about deturfing a boat, and then when
Which
we're
is-
ready to turf, we'll give you a little bit of a tutorial on what we do, which is really a lot different than most people within the community do in terms of turfing. But let's focus on deturfing a boat.
Taking it off. And I mean, it's been called carpet, it's been called mats, it's been called turf, it's been called a
Yeah.
variety of different things. And nobody has ever said it's been a fun job.
No, it sucks.
It's a tough-
Nobody looks
yeah.
forward to taking the turf off.
That's a great, and for all the folks out there who have not deturfed or removed your foot pads from the trays, the foot area of your watercraft. That's a great way to start it because it can be a really challenging job. It's not going to take you a couple minutes. It's really, really time consuming, and it's something you have to be very careful doing. But a lot of people out there throughout the years who've really been able to create some really good techniques on how to do it. And we're one of those. We think we have a really nice system.
The new way that we've been taking it off.
Yeah, the new tool. What tool is that, Mel? That you were able to come across? What is that?
I just call it like an all-in-one. You
It's
can buy
like
it-
a little nibbler, ain't it?
Yeah, you could buy it at Home Depot. It's damn, I'm having a brain fart, but it's like $100, $130. I use it for trim and construction, but
So it's like a multi
it's a
tool.
multi-tool is what they call it. But
Okay.
Walmart has them for like $55.
Yep.
And then I picked up the blade from there because they're cheap scrapers.
And
Yeah,
what's
and you just put the scraper blade on it.
Yeah.
What's
Actually, it's on the screen now.
what's amazing about that tool is it does not damage the paint or the gel coat.
Well,
There's
you got to remember, depends on what it is. This cane, this is the
right. I mean, the first thing we should tell people is, look, if you're concerned that you're going to chip, scratch, or damage the gel coat under your foot mats, you really shouldn't be. The real concern is to be able to get most of the material off so that your new padding, your new mats, will remain secure and will not start to peel. You won't get any edge curving on them. So
Right.
that's a great tool because it removes most of the matting without damaging the hull, minimal damage to the hull.
It just leaves a little bit of the glue left over, which at that point you can
Right.
use isopropyl alcohol.
Well, the old way that we used to do it was by hand, scrape it. I don't remember where you got that scraper from. Probably AutoZone or Advance.
That's
Napa.
actually a Mac scraper it's a gasket scraper.
That's what I thought.
So the gasket scraper works really, really well. What we like to do, a lot of people like to use gasoline. Some people like to use acetone. So when you get the majority of the pad off itself, you then have quite a bit of adhesive still remaining on the watercraft, on the deck.
Yeah, but with that stuff, you got to be careful now with painted surfaces.
Right. So you can use goof off. Again, there's 1,000 different ways to skin a cat. People.
Well, what we do, we started this weekend is we use the multi-tool. When I was doing it, I found myself going back to the scraper to do small detailed stuff.
Right.
But then it was more of a pain in the ass than anything. So I'm like, let me try this multi-tool. Let's see if it'll work on smaller parts of it. And it worked perfect.
Right. It took all that old glue up.
And one of the things that I noticed is that I didn't use as much brake cleaner.
Right.
So that's expensive stuff. I mean, we keep cases in the
Right,
garage.
right.
But with that brake clean on raw fiberglass like that or gel coat, it's fine.
Right.
You get into the painted surfaces,
You're going to have a problem.
you're going to have a problem. You're going
Right.
to be taking up paint.
Yeah, so you really have to be careful of the chemical that you're using because, as Jody said, you don't want to get any carb cleaner or brake cleaner on areas that you're not working on your gel coat that you're not working on. So same thing. Acetone, gasoline, goof off.
Goof off works well.
a whole host of different solvent cleaners you can use to remove a lot of that adhesive. But we've really found that multi-purpose tool that Mel showed really does a nice job.
You want to put that back up for?
Sure.
And it's able to get a majority of the turf off instantly. And then you can go over it again and get most of your glue. But you're going to have to use something, whether it's a gasket scraper or a razor blade, to get your corners and edges to really get the surface clean so that you can then look to apply your new turf.
Mhm.
But it's really, again, you those of you on social media, you probably see it, once a week, once every other week. How do I remove my turf? Or boy, this is a nightmare of a job. It is. It's a long, time-consuming job, and turf is not meant to last forever. It deteriorates over time.
Well, the funny part now is a lot of the new Yamaha, Chaparral, and a couple of the other ones, the jet boats, are now coming with turf.
With ribbed
Yeah.
ribbed hydro
So-
turf.
It's made by a different company. It's still the same stuff.
Right. But then when you go to look at turfs, there's a whole you can get the diamond pattern, you can get ribbed, you can get a whole. There's so many different patterns, and we wanted to talk for a minute. Turf, hydro turf is synonymous with matting, turfing, decking. A lot of people feel that that jet trim is amongst the best in the community. I would say seeing Performex Stitch, seeing a company like Black Tip. And HydroTurf, they've all come such a long way with their upholsteries and their
Yeah.
turf.
Well, let's talk about color and fade.
Yeah,
That was one of the things that Jody told me when I was first getting into jet skis. Is okay, why do you want to
Pick
go
your
with
color
this color?
wisely.
Because in the sun, if it sits in the sun,
yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
we only get sun 2 months out of the year, so I guess it's okay.
We're almost
Well-
Alaska up here in New York.
We're,
Almost.
we're close.
But no, it's a good point. Turfs have come a long way. They're now Black Tip and HydroTurf are starting to add materials to their turf to prevent sun fading. And you're right, Mel. I had a red 95 Yamaha Wave Blaster back in the day, and I put red HydroTurf on it. And in less than a month, that HydroTurf was pink.
Sitting outside.
And then here you go. It takes you, I don't know about a solid day,
Oh,
but
it's good.
depends on what you use for promoter
Right,
to put the turf on.
exactly.
Because you can't just peel
Well-
and stick and slap it on, and that's it. Because it'll
Well,
peel.
We'll stay in a color thing for a minute.
Yeah.
All right.
easiest, less fade, black.
Yeah.
Dark colors.
Okay, anything black. You get the greens, you get the pinks. I mean, I had what was it, the pink and white on Shelby's blaster.
Right, with the
Yep.
marble gray.
I kept it inside, obviously during the week. It's only outside for a few hours on the weekends when we were riding. At the end of the year, it was all dry rotted, checked up, faded, and that was just being outside 3, 4, 5 hours on
Yeah,
a weekend.
yeah. But I think they're now, both black tip and hydroturf subsequently have
UV
improved their
stabilizers
product.
in them.
Yeah, they're adding some products to it in order to reduce that weathering, that UV, almost like a UV protectant that's in it. It's not going to last forever.
Right.
I mean, you're going to see sun fading, you're going to see dry rotting. So it's right. You need to choose the color.
It may look cool in the beginning. Choose wisely.
Well, even the new style, because I think Rodney sell that ski and buy a new one. But he doesn't always have the smartest things to say.
No, but a
still,
lot of
even
people.
the new ones will fade.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And look,
You know?
I mean, a lot, even on some of the newer skis, if the glue application isn't proper, turf, it's always in the water. It can peel. You can a lot of them edge peel over
Well,
the course of time.
Yamaha had the big problem for a while in the foot trace, where the mat, not the mats, but the paint would bubble
Right.
from the water sitting in there.
Right.
Believe it or not, those mats came up like
Can
nothing.
come right off.
Okay?
Yeah.
But when they were put down from the factory, obviously, brand new fiberglass, brand new paint,
Right.
threw them on there, no applicator at all, and they came on, came off.
Right.
Now, they sit out in the sun. Again, different story.
Yeah.
You're letting that glue bake into the paint.
Right.
It's a pain to get it off.
It really is, especially on a lot of the older boats. The newer stuff, it can be really tough to get that glue off. Some of that factory glue is just really.
Oh.
Just
All right, so minimalist list of what you need to take that turf off.
I would say-
Old, crappy.
you're gonna need some type of a utility tool. If not, you're gonna be using a razor scraper or that gasket scraper that Jody showed you. You can use, a lot of people like to use like a one of the DAP, like almost like the spatula type of
The putty.
putty knives. Thank you. Some people use putty knives. There's a whole host of scraping objects that you can use, but you're going to need.
And depending on your patience level, probably a 12-pack of beer.
Yeah, exactly. Heat gun helps in some situations, depending upon the turf. So you can always have a heat gun on hand. You're going to need a good fine razor scraper for your corners and edges, and if you don't want to use a solvent cleaner, you can try an eraser wheel. Eraser wheels don't really work that well.
Well,
And
it
it's
depends
tough in
on-
the tray.
You'll chew
Yeah.
through the wheel. Like Jody said, you won't get the right angle on the eraser wheel to take a lot of that material off.
Like on the back of that cane,
Yeah.
if you got a big flat deck on the back of a blaster,
Right, nice and easy.
different story.
Yeah, but so you're going to need some type of a scraper. You're going to need a razor blade for your corners and edges, and you're going to need to use some type of solvent in order, because you want to get that surface as clean as possible before you look to install your new turf, so it sticks well and you don't have any of the peeling problems. And but back to what we started talking about, in terms of upholstery and mats, in my opinion, I think HydroTurf is right up there with Jet Trim. I think Perform-X Stitch does amazing work. I think Black Tip's doing some amazing work. I think there's so many good options. Back in the day, it used to be Jet Trim seat, HydroTurf mats.
Mhm.
Everybody, Jet Trim seat, HydroTurf mats on all boats. I think no matter who you choose,
You're going to get a quality product.
you really honestly are. I mean, they're all on.
And we've witnessed just even recently here, just in the last few weeks, the HydroTurf seat cover
Beautiful.
to go along with the mats. So
Absolutely beautiful.
they've stepped up huge compared to 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5, 10 years ago. I mean, it was a quality product. Don't get us wrong. It was a nice seat cover. but the progression of that product is, it's on par with the jet trim. It's on, and I saw that Perform X stitch with which they did on the giveaway
For the Carolina boys.
for the belly buster. That seat was good. I mean, that seat was HydroTurf jet trim caliber of a product. I mean, and
Everything I've seen out of them have been pretty intense, pretty
quality
custom stuff.
quality work. And the other one that's really stepped their game up is Blacktip. You see some of the Blacktip mat and upholstery combinations, and they are incredible. I mean, they just look so good. So if you're looking to customize your watercraft, there's a lot. You have a lot of options there, and it's just like asking somebody what intake rate and ride plate do you run, or which is better, Ford, Dodge, or Chevy. Everybody has an opinion, but what you should do is look at those 4 options. Look at the different color combinations, the different patterns that they all provide, and feel comfortable that in choosing any of the 4, you're going to receive a high quality product from, basically an entity that's really designed in and around watercraft. You're not getting someone who's making saddlebags for Harleys and they're going to cut you a seat cover. I mean, they really all of them do very, very nice work, and it's a great custom feature to your watercraft. It's like having an old, 73 Camaro in primer gray, but you throw a set of rims and tires on it, and that car looks pretty damn good. I mean, if you once you customize with a little HydroTurf, a little jet trim, Perform X stitch, or black tip, totally changes the look of the boat.
Now,
we'll go through some other stuff too.
well, that's
like
what I was
the
going to say. Get
canes.
on to the install process now.
Well, I wasn't even gonna get that far.
Yeah, I
Only
think we
because
want to.
we break down the whole thing before sometimes, I should say. But now the insides of these canes are absolutely disgusting. So we'll douche them, we'll clean them. We're gonna do a little on that too, only because
Yeah, a lot of people out there, finding old boats and really doing a lot. Conversion work is all the craze now. Putting a motor in a hull that it doesn't belong in, and
Even just bringing back the old 2-strokes, because either A, I don't want to spend $18,000 on the new top of the line boat,
right.
or I can't get the new top of the line boat because there's none available.
And the good thing is too, I mean, a lot of guys of our generation had 550s and stuff when they were a kid. And you look at the price of a 550, 10, 15 years ago, you could have got a 550 for no money.
$300.
Now you see 550s that are collector quality 550s or are really clean 550s. They're going for big money. So there's a lot of people out there scooping them up, cleaning them up, and it's a process. Like Mel said,
I don't know anybody that would do anything like that.
But yeah, so we're gonna have some upcoming videos for
Why
you
are you guys staring at me? What the hell?
we're gonna try to we're gonna
get
do a
him
lot of
Coke.
Huh?
Get him a Coca-Cola.
Next one we're gonna have, we're gonna make sure, like Jody said, that we video for you when we actually apply the HydroTurf, because we use a different process. A lot of people are using DAP weldwood. We have a better process than that, where the turf really adheres much better. We'll go over
it
that.
doesn't come off. We form it.
It's
in
tough to get
shapes
it off,
it's
though.
not supposed to form into.
It's tough to get it off. And again, we're going to go over the process of actually cleaning one of the old hulls, and
But
show.
that's one of our things that we do. Like it's fine. We have Watercraft Network, little podcast. We talk about half gas, bullshit, whatever. Our bread and butter is working on junk teeth.
Being out there, just bringing them back to life, like that, like the.
Don't just say junk when you don't categorize all of that stuff. Let's just clarify what you mean by junk.
The
And
blasters, the HX.
Oh.
None of it's junk. It's just old retro stuff that needs a little bit of love. And speaking of which, you're right. We're spending a lot of time working on skis, and the next thing that we're spending a lot of time on is personal watercraft safety. We have a class coming up with one of our partners in law enforcement, sheriff's department, that we're going to be working with them. You'll see some live video of that
That's
as well.
A couple weeks now, right?
Yeah, right around
2
the
weeks?
corner. 2 weeks from now, yeah.
We also have PWC Safety Day that we're going to be
just going to
doing
say
too.
PWC Safety Day, which which began 3 years ago here in New York, get a lot of support from law enforcement. Really helps to, um, m-
Nice ski.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. Personal Watercraft Safety Day is something that you can do, that anyone can do. I've noticed immediately in posting it on the AWA uh, social media page that West Coast Watercraft Club expressed interest in doing something. I think they're going to kick around doing a similar type of program, and it's really something that 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 needs to expand within the community. Personal watercraft are problematic on all bodies of water, not just where we are here in
Hmm.
New York. And you know,
Well, we see it all the time with our Australian friends.
yeah,
They
Australia's
can't use certain launches or go in certain canals.
and watercraft are selling out at record numbers. I mean, personal watercraft are literally selling out before they're actually hitting the dealer's floor.
Hmm.
And so we have a lot of new riders, new people to the sport, in conjunction with riders that just tend not to pay attention when they're on the water. So Personal Watercraft Safety Day is a great way in your area, to get involved with your law enforcement, get involved with the regulating authorities, the emergency management agencies, first responders, fire departments, all those people that would typically respond to a boating accident or a personal watercraft incident, and create a create a program just like we've done here. Help educate watercraft operators in your area, with the participation of law enforcement agencies in a non-punitive measure capacity. It's really a great program. We have a lot of sponsors looking to get involved, and we appreciate that. We can't thank you enough for reaching out and just showing your love and supporting the community. And
And law enforcement would rather be on this side of it than ruining somebody's day.
it's the one thing that watercraft enthusiasts really don't understand and really struggle with is how much your local law enforcement agency wants your
Yeah,
assistance.
but I don't think it's segregated to like watercraft, personal watercraft.
It's boating in general.
Exactly. You're
I think it's idiots in general.
100% right.
I'm just saying,
I mean,
we
look, we
people make mistakes. You make a dumb decision. You get in your car. You've had a few beers.
it's anywhere. Yeah. The
You
the the
know,
the
And no
problem
different being behind the wheel or behind the handlebars
That's
of a
right.
ski.
that's
the
right.
problem is, in terms of personal watercraft, we've always been the scapegoat for waterway. I mean, anything, whenever there's incidents on the water, it's typically personal watercraft that become the focal point. And it's
Right.
because of, like you're saying, that small percentage of bad apples just amplify the negativity that surrounds personal watercraft. And, I think
Well, everybody always shows what happened. Nobody shows what preventive placement, could
Hmm.
help
right,
in the
right,
situation.
exactly. And
Or let's say I'm on a jet ski and I turn and I run into somebody. It starts with me. Why did I do that? Why didn't I look? That kind of shit.
that's one of the big things. I mean, you can see them all the time on social media, the guy leaving shore, and
Oh man,
and
some
there's
of
a
them make
collision.
Or getting too close to shore,
See it
doing something stupid.
all the time. So really, we strongly encourage anyone who wants any type of assistance in establishing a program, or you want just the footnotes on how we've become involved with 5, 6 regional law enforcement agencies in this area. Please feel free to reach out. We're glad to share the recipe and help you establish a program in your area.
Yeah, definitely agree. So
I
And
think that's a wrap for tonight,
yeah,
right?
and hey, watch for those cane videos. We're working on that conversion cane Daytona free ride presented by Torrent Pumps 2022. That boat's being built
that's
here.
right.
Got
If
a
you ever,
lot going
if
into
you ever
that thing.
dreamed about having a jet ski,
We're,
buy you
and,
a Polaris Hurricane.
and we're looking for
Hurricane.
another cane. If anybody has any canes
Oh,
sitting
Jesus.
around there,
No.
we're looking for a couple more. If we can get our hands on a couple more of them, we'd really appreciate it. Give us a shout if you have a cane sitting around you want to get rid of. We don't have enough of them here. We
La la
need
la la
we
la la
need
la
a
la la.
couple more. We're looking to beat the
I think it's time to shut the mic off.
we're looking to beat Three Brothers Racing. We want to double what they have. So hey, listen, we're back next Wednesday. Thanks for the love. Stay safe out there.
We'll see you next week.